What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool and Aston Villa drew 2-2 at Villa Park. A result that moves us 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League, but of course we have now played a game more than Arsenal. So I'm going to go through and give the referee, the players, the substitutes and Arne Slot a score out of 10. As always, you're going to see two images. The large square in the centre of the player image is my score, and the one in the upper right hand corner is the average Anfield Agenda audience score. Now, I know it's not the greatest of occasion and I know it's not a celebratory night, but I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and Connor as well, to everybody that supported us on a night where we hit 300,000 subscribers. We wish we had have done it on a night where we won the game, but we want to take a moment to just say a huge, sincere thank you to all of you for your continued support. We appreciate it, and I know my family does as well. So look, ladies and gentlemen, it, of course, being a match day, we are also being brought to you with thanks to our sponsors, Manscaped. Why not check out the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the all-in-one men's grooming kit featuring the Lawnmower 5.0, the Weed Whacker Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer, Manscaped's 2 liquid formulations, and a couple of free gifts thrown in as well, the Shed Travel Bag and the Boxer Briefs. You can get that or anything else at manscaped.com with 20% off and free shipping. That's 20% off and free shipping by using the code ANFIELD20 at checkout or by scanning the QR code in the bottom corner. So look, we'll start off with the referee, folks, as we always do. And do you know what? I think Craig Houlden had a fairly good game there tonight. I don't remember being too aggrieved about any of the decisions. And it certainly wasn't down to him, the reason we drew that game. So for Craig Houlden tonight, I'm giving him a score of 6.5. And the Anfield Agenda audience average score is 6.4. Feel free, by the way, to let us know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with these scores and your own thoughts on the game. Alisson Becker. I mentioned this during the watch-along. I'm starting to feel just a little bit more nervy with Alisson in games. Now, I'm not saying his form's falling off a cliff or anything, but there's more crosses that he's punching instead of catching. There's just little bits of to just make me feel a little bit more on edge. Does that make any sense to people? Tonight, he didn't really do too much wrong, but then again, it was a game where we conceded 2 goals yet again, which isn't great for us. So I've given Alisson today a score of 6, and the audience pretty similar again with a score of 6.1. Now, a reminder, I don't know the Anfield Agenda audience scores when I'm doing this, so it's as much as a surprise to me as it is to you as we go through them. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know he got a goal tonight, and I'm very grateful for that goal, but I didn't think his performance was all that good. He improved in the second half, but once again, there's an instance in that game that boiled my blood. He plays a ball that he tried to play through the centre towards one of our attackers. It's intercepted by, I believe, Tyrone Mings, who then plays a ball past Trent into the area Trent's vacated, and Trent jogs back and doesn't then start to sprint as he gets closer to it, continues to jog, and that attitude, it just can't be doing. I just can't be doing with it. You need to be sprinting back in when you've given the ball away and vacated your space. You need to be breaking your guts to get back in. And he didn't do it. And it's unacceptable. And it isn't a one-off occasion where perhaps it was just fatigue or concern over the injury Niggly had. He did it against Real Madrid in the past as well. And I don't know if the contract situation's in his mind or whatever it is, but he needs to be better and he needs to be setting an example. So for Trent today, I'm giving a score of 5.5, and the Anfield Agenda audience gone with a 6.1. Ibrahima Konate, I thought was probably the best of our defenders out there on the pitch tonight. Made loads of great interceptions and blocks, and certainly the better of the 2 centre-backs for me. So for Ibu today, ladies and gents, I'm giving him a score of 6.5, and the audience have gone with a 6.8. Now, our captain, Virgil van Dijk, who, again, I have a little bugbear here with Virgil. There's no denying the man's greatness and his leadership and all the things that we praise him for and rightly praise him for. But this clearing the ball out for throw-ins and not even trying to get distance from it does my head in. And it needs to stop. You know, there was a couple of chances there today where a ball fell to him and he could have played a pass to Andy Robertson, but he side-foots it out near the corner flag to give Villa a throw-in. If you're going to put it out of play, hoof it 25, 30 yards up the pitch out of play. And also, the allowing of Ollie Watkins to just stroll in behind and get a free header for Villa's second goal, you need to be looking at that as well. So today for Virgil, I'm giving him a score of 6, and the audience have gone for 6.2. Next up, Andy Robertson. This was one I found difficult to judge, to be honest. Better than his last performance. that's pretty much it for me. I don't think he was terrible by any stretch of the imagination. I do prefer now when Alexis McAllister goes to take the corners. I think his delivery's better. But Robbo today, I thought he was okay. So I'm going to give him a 6. And again, it seems the audience are pretty close with an average score of 6.1. Now into midfield and Ryan Gravenberch, who, let's be honest, needs a rest. But the problem we have is we don't have the squad depth that the manager trusts to give him a rest. So today we played with 4 midfielders. What you didn't see was Wataru Endo given a chance to come on, Harvey Elliott given a chance to come on. And again, this insistence on having to play Gravenberch for every single game of the season is a tightrope that we shouldn't have to be walking. So I wish we had brought that midfielder in just to give him a breather. But today I thought fitness was catching up with him. The games were catching up with him. And I'm giving him a score of 6. And I don't think it's down to him not being good, or I think it's sheerly down, or excuse me, it's squarely just down to the amount of games that he's had to play, especially when you consider he's coming off the back of a couple of seasons where, you know, he wasn't playing every single week in them either. So to get so much out of him this season as we had is a credit to him, but we should have an option there that the manager trusts to rotate. Alexis McAllister, another one who's had a good season and is exhausted. Probably could have done, but leaving him out there today. But I understand that fatigue's catching up with him as well. But this is why we keep talking about needing extra bodies. And it's no good having a squad of 14 or 15 that aren't a trusts, because the benches are being wasted. Chiesa isn't getting a look in. Elliott isn't getting a look in. Endo isn't getting a look in. You or I are making these selections, but we are being told that the squad's one the manager trusts and everything's great. It isn't, and we need some depth there. Alexis today, understandably tired. I've given him a score of 6.5. I do think he is a classy player and always gives 100%. And God bless him, he was in the wars out there today as well. A couple of early knocks, but he kept on soldiering on until he was substituted. Dominic Szoboszlai, who I thought was brilliant. He has been everywhere, and I don't know how he has the engine he does. I really thought he was brilliant today, and I'm really happy with his performances. Yeah, I'd love some more goals to be added in, but I don't want to know where we'd be without him recently. And even in the games like today where it's a 2-2 draw, I felt like he was the standout performer along with Mohamed Salah. So I've given him a score of 7, and the Anfield Agenda audience have gone lower with an average score of 6.2. Curtis Jones. It was an interesting experiment from Arne Slot today to play with one of our midfielders out on the left side. And I felt in the first half it was working. Defensively, we gave away 2 very, very stoppable goals. But I thought we created so much in that first half and we were wasteful. But I do think you could justify why Arne made that selection. If we had been a bit more clinical in front of goal, I think it could have been different. But I thought Jones did okay today. So I've given him a score of 6. And the Anfield Agenda audience have gone up with a 7.1 for Curtis Jones. And look, it looks like I've given Szoboszlai the score that you guys think Jones should have had, and vice versa. And look, again, I'm playing catch up here, and I'm processing my emotions as well at the end of the game. So if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section. But either way, it certainly wasn't a poor performance from Curtis Jones. I'm happy enough to say that one. Mohamed Salah, the man that continues to score, 24 goals now in the Premier League from all this season. I think 15 away goals, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. A record for Liverpool in the Premier League. And our owners won't pay the man. And whatever way you want to dress that up, ladies and gentlemen, I find it absolutely embarrassing, because where would we be without him? We may find that out next season, but as of right now, even in games where maybe he's struggling to get at the defenders, he finds a way to get into the positions to score goals, and we're very grateful for that. So Mo, today I'm giving a 7.5. He was your Anfield Agenda man of the match as well in our poll earlier on, and the Anfield Agenda audience have given him an average score of 7.8. Diogo Jota. So where to go with Diogo today? I want to say well done to him firstly for the unselfishness of laying the ball off to Mo for the goal. It was a very good decision and the right one, and Mo tucked it away. And then of course he did miss an opportunity that I'm sure he'd want to have another go at. People were trying to compare it to the opportunity Darwin missed, and they're not comparable for me. And he just made the wrong decision with the way he was trying to finish the ball, and he skies it towards the corner flag. He did rattle the bar in the second half as well. And look, I thought he was okay there today. yes, that chance is going to be frustrating, but we're going to move on to a more frustrating chance missed in a minute. So for me today, I've given him a 6, and the audience have gone for a 5.8. Connor Bradley, who we'll wait on injury news of, he obviously came on and went off, so the score I'm going to give him is because he wasn't on the pitch very long, and that's a 5. Because I don't really know what else to give him. You know, it's not like he had a bad game or a great game. He was on, and then he was off again, unfortunately, with a knock, and that makes me concerned, because he's had a few of these, and if Trent does depart and we're trying to rely on him, I think we need to make sure that he's not going to pick up these injuries if we can, or do everything to prevent them. You know what I think about Connor Bradley, big fan of his, but you know, it's frustrating for him and everyone else when he picks up these knocks, because he doesn't want it, we don't want it, the club don't want it. It's just frustrating, and I wish he had stayed on there today, because I would have liked to see if he could have made a difference. Now we move on to Mr. Darwin Nunez. Look, his attitude is a disgrace. To not applaud the travelling cop who consistently sang his name there tonight, even after he missed an open goal that a Sunday League player would have scored, even after he lost a foot race pretty much to Emi Martinez when he had a 10-yard head start, even after he didn't know whether to pass or shoot on the edge of the box and kicks it out of play, and then of course the obligatory offsides as well. All of it is enough for me to say I do not want to see Darwin Nunez ever put on the pitch again for Liverpool Football Club. I don't care anymore. I don't care how upset, heartbroken, frustrated he is. It's of his own making, and to not applaud them fans, because, you know, whatever you want to say about me or people online or anybody else and Darwin Nunez, those travelling fans have always sang his name, always had his back, and are far better people than I am. And to not even acknowledge them at the end of that game today, and to go off into the corner on your own and disappear, is pathetic. It's just not good enough. Couple that with the fact that he thought it was okay to have a little laugh with Emi Martinez after the game, where he should be heartbroken, frustrated, crestfallen at not finding a winner, and he goes and has a laugh. Not with a national teammate. No. An Argentinian keeper and a Uruguayan forward, and he thinks, let's have a little chuckle at the end of that game. It's unacceptable, and the sooner the better he's gone. I don't know what else to say. So score-wise, I've given him a 3, and I thought I was being generous with that. The audience have given him a 2. Let me know what you think. I know people want to keep supporting him. I just can't, because his attitude sucks, and so does his play. Not good enough. Luis Diaz, a surprise not to see him start. I can probably understand it from the perspective of, well, if Gakpo has a knock, you don't want to overplay Lucho and pick up a knock either. Would have liked to have seen him brought off the bench a little bit sooner. Didn't really think he did impact the game too much when he did come on, but again, would have liked longer for him to do it. So I've given him a score of 5.5, and the audience have gone for an average of 4.8. And next up, Diaz and Quansah, who of course came on late for Connor Bradley, and I thought, look, did as well as he could in the few minutes he was on, made a burst forward as well, tried to make something happen, and it's good to see him, you know, coming back and having some confidence again. So I give him a 6 because he was only on the pitch for a few minutes as well, and the audience have gone for a 5.4. Now last up, it's our manager, who got it wrong today. He got it wrong with the substitutions, he got it wrong with not looking to his bench. You can't make an excuse to not give Chiesa 10 minutes or Elliott 10 minutes. It just is unfathomable to us fans who see players out on their feet, and we're being told that the manager trusts everyone, but you can clearly see he doesn't. So when you're going in with a squad and half your bench aren't going to be brought on because the manager doesn't think that they can make a difference or want to utilise them, why are we paying somebody 140 grand a week at a club where we need to make every penny count when the manager's no intention of playing them? What's the point of that? What's the point of not being able to go into the transfer market and bring in bodies that we need? Chiesa should have got minutes today. Elliott should have got minutes today. Endo should have got minutes today. And for them not to, I don't know what to say. It's one of the few times I've been very frustrated with Arna. So I've given him a score today of 6. And the audience, feeling pretty much similar to me, have gone with an average score of 5. So that is it for the player ratings, ladies and gents. It's over to you now to have your say. If you've enjoyed the video, drop a like. And again, thank you to everyone that has subscribed to help us get over 300,000. We'll continue trying to work hard to repay your support. And thank you for your time. There'll be a news video coming up at about midnight as well, so keep an eye out for that one. And we'll talk to you soon.